What's up, fellas? My name's Tian Fridge. I go to Eastern Illinois University. I'm in my senior year. I play DB, and I appreciate my guy Nick asked me to do this. As we played in high school a couple of years in the playoffs, but he went to Vacaville, so we had to send him home. I went to Elk Grove and gave him that belt, but eventually we met at Sac City, and I'm just really appreciative of this opportunity to let you guys know that just being a testimony of like you guys can do it, but also you don't have to separate your faith and your sport. If anything, you should hold tight to your faith as you play football, and especially when you go to these new places and new opportunities, and also being an ambassador of Christ. But for me, when I first went to Sac City, honestly, I had no relationship with Jesus. I didn't know who he was. I didn't grow up in the church, so this was on my own. It was separate. It's cool that you guys got this opportunity to talk about God, and in whether it's in the locker rooms or just in the facilities and stuff. But for me, I really needed to figure out what kind of man I wanted to be. I was trying to figure out who I was, and honestly, because I always just see myself in the light of what I could do on the football field. But it wasn't until I started realizing who God created me to be, and the man that he's forming, for me to realize that I can play this kid's game to the best of my abilities, and it'd give me opportunity, help me, help my family, and just help those around me. But realizing that also this game gives you a platform that so many kids are looking up to, that you have an impact, and I hope you realize that there's not too much you can do on the field that's going to be lasting compared to about letting those around you know about the good news of Jesus Christ. And for me, when I was playing at Sac City, like I said, when I first got there, I thought I was bigger than the program. I thought probably highly of myself, and it wasn't until God humbled me and let me know that I had deeper rooted things that I needed to address before I could play this kid's game. And once I did, I started getting momentum, started being able to play to my best of my ability. And really, once I got my offer to Eastern Illinois, I realized it was first of all, it was heaven sent, because it helped me mend a better relationship with my dad, as he lived in Chicago, and I had never met that side of the family until then. But also the fact that I got baptized the day that I signed my letter of intent, not intentionally, but just God willing, and really just establishing my faith before I stepped into that new arena, that new opportunity. And I wouldn't take it back for the world. Now that I'm on the other end of that, about to get my second degree, getting my master's degree, and really just realizing that God has been walking me through this thing since I was just a little kid in Pee-wees, and now I'm about to step into the real world. Never know, maybe I'll play for the next level, but either way, I realize that as long as God got me, there's nothing I can do without him. So appreciate you guys for listening.
How you guys doing? My name's Jack Clardy. So I wanted to make a video. Coach Pine reached out to me. Me and Nick, we spent time together at Arizona Christian. He's a great dude. Him and I had some good times out there in AZ. So I just wanted to reach out and kind of share my ups and downs of recruiting process, and kind of how I stayed motivated through it all, because I kind of did have a pretty wild ride, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. But basically in high school, recruiting was bad because of COVID. I'm an undersized quarterback, and I had some preferred walk-ons and some scholarship spots, but at the end of the day, I decided to gray shirt, take some junior college credits, and decided to go to the University of South Dakota on a walk-on. And I did pretty well there through fall camp and spring. I went through 2 OCs there, and I had a weird process there, as I was never used to the Midwest, the weather. But I went through 2 offensive coordinators through 2.5 years there, and unfortunately the second one didn't really like me due to my size and my stature. But so anyways, I prayed on that. I kept working hard. I mean, I was doing pretty well through fall camp, spring, and I just wasn't getting the position on the depth chart I wanted. And so ultimately I prayed on it, talked to my family, and decided to enter the portal. And through the portal, I had a bunch of like D2 offers, a couple FCS walk-on spots, but I decided to stay closer to home and go to Arizona Christian with Nick, where I met him. And So that was weird, as they told me it was going to be an air raid offense, and I showed up and it was wing T. So that whole process was weird there, because I wasted a whole year of eligibility. But I knew God had a plan for me, so I was just kind of staying level-headed, not trying to get too angry with the whole thing. And so I decided to talk to my family at the end of the season, and sadly I entered the portal again, but I didn't like having to leave all my buddies and stuff at all these schools, but it's God's plan at the end of the day, and I felt that was what he was guiding me to do. So I leaned on him once again, and I was thinking about going to a Division III school in my hometown, and all of a sudden Marshall called. I got connected through a coach I met in high school there, and he connected me to Marshall and was like, hey, they got a spot. Are you willing to take it? You got to go in the next 2 days. And I was like, okay. So I talked to my mom. I prayed on it that night, and we woke up and we thought that was the best decision for me. So now I'm a senior quarterback here at Marshall. I'll be graduating in December. We're 4-4 right now. We're hoping for a bowl game here, so that would be pretty sweet to go out on a bowl game. But ultimately, I just wanted to tell you guys that I know you guys are going through a lot right now in these JUCO days. Some of you might be freshmen, sophomore, might 1 year left too, redshirt, and whatever it is. But just stay grounded in your faith and just keep working hard, because you never really know where you're going to go. I went from an FCS to an NAIA to a Sunbelt school, and I've barely played any snaps in college. So the connections are real. Your guys' JUCO coaches, I know you probably got great coaches. If Coach Pine's there, good guys, I bet. So I just want to tell you guys, just stay humble, stay patient. Everything's going to work out for a reason. Walk with God. He never will fail you. His plan is above every other plan. His timing's above every other timing. So just stay patient, stay humble, and get after it. Good luck to you guys. I wish you guys the best.
What's up, y'all? My name is Kalani Riddick. Nick reached out for me to just say a few things, but yeah, me and Nick go a little ways back. We used to play each other in high school. We didn't really know each other then, but we both came to Sac City, and since then, that's been one of my good friends. And I know you guys a lot of you guys are sophomores going in your last year in JUCO, and I know it can be a little frustrating and like scary, I guess, because you don't really know what you're going to do after. You don't know if you're going to get offers or get recruited by schools, and that can just be a little nerve-wracking. So yeah, I'm gonna just tell you guys a little bit about my journey and how God just helped me through some of the rough moments in my JUCO experience. Because in 2021, I was a all-state JUCO player. I was getting recognized, and I had a lot of teams texting me, trying to recruit me and everything like that. But in 2022, I'm off to a good start. I got 3 picks in 4 games. I got a lot of tackles, and then one game I went up for a pick, broke my ankle. And that was a bit devastating, because after that, everybody stopped texting me. All the schools stopped recruiting me. So just my future was very uncertain, and I really didn't know what was next, what was coming next. So I thought I was done with football. I thought nobody was going to recruit me. I thought I wasn't going to get an offer to go play football anywhere else. So I was just in a dark place, and I really just had to not lean on my own understanding, but lean on the fact that everything that happens to us is for a reason, and that God knows the plans for us, and He has a plan for us, and then that He will make a way through any hardship, any trial, tribulation, anything like that. And that, yeah. So I just really relied on that. I relied on that understanding. And once I got through that dark time that He helped me with, I got a school called SEMO. They came. Even though I'm just getting off rehab from breaking my ankle, they give me an offer. And I wasn't thinking I was ever going to get that. I thought I was going to be done with football after everybody started hitting me when I broke my ankle. And that was just like, it was just a blessing to get that, because I know stuff like that can be devastating to people, and it can lead you down to the wrong path and just start doing other stuff. But yeah, that was just a blessing for me. And I just want to tell you guys that anything is possible, and that just keep your faith in the fact that the Lord knows what He is doing with your life, and He will give you and put you into situations to where you have to lean on Him and not lean on the understanding of your own understanding, but lean on the fact that He will get you through anything. And yeah, so I know this time can be hard for y'all, but just keep faith, and whatever is planned for you, it will happen. So, yeah.
Hey boys, I kind of wanted to just hop on here, explain to you guys my story, how I got to Hutch, how I'm going to be at Charlotte next year, my walk with God throughout it all. So after my senior year of high school, I had 0 offers, and that was very frustrating for me because I wanted to play at the next level. I didn't take it with a heavy heart though. I ended up playing baseball over the summer in California, and it was real good for me actually. I was committed to play at a junior college out there, and I thought it was going to be my next step where I was going to be, but I knew it was going to be hard moving to California to play and live on my own and stuff because I had never done that yet. So I headed back home for that little break in between going back, and I knew something felt off, something wasn't right. So I ended up sitting on the back porch and having a deep talk with my dad, and I told him that I wanted to play football again. But at that time I realized, wow, it's really late for me to say this. Like, it's going to be hard to be able to get that done. So we explored my options, and I decided to end up going to Arizona Christian, which was a coincidence because I had felt that God was telling me to go back and play football again. And that was one of the coolest things, knowing that I was going to end up going to a Christian program and learning more about God throughout that process. So we ended up signing the papers to go to Arizona Christian 4 days before fall camp started, which was kind of scary because I was already behind the 8 ball. It was going to be hard for me to catch back up to where everybody else was at. But I think it paid off in the end. So a little bit about me and Coach Pine. Our first game, we actually roomed together for that weekend, and I didn't really know him at all, but I feel like God wanted us to meet and like get to know each other. And we talked all weekend about like what our plans were, what we wanted to do after this. And one of the things that I told him was that I wanted to play football at the D1 level still, and that it was going to be hard to get to that level, but we both knew that I could do it eventually. Coach Pine wanted to come and coach in Cali, which he's obviously doing now, which is awesome that you guys have someone like that, because he's a great man, great person, and he's just a dog to be around all the time. So I ended up playing my season in Arizona Christian, and I wasn't happy with the football side of things, knowing that I could play at a better program. I have nothing but respect for that, but I think God was telling me that it was time to leave that. And a verse that I use for that is John 13:7. You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you'll understand. And that always hits hard when I read that, because he's telling me that things might not be going how you thought they were going to be right now, but they will be eventually. So I ended up talking to one of my roommates who's here with me now at Hutch, and he told me he was going to transfer and he was going to go to the national championship game the next week. And I said, yeah, let's do it. So we flew out to watch Hutch play Iowa Western in the national championship, and we ended up talking to the coaches and really getting a feel for how the team was, and we ended up signing the next week. And
it's one of the best things that God has led me to do, because it's going to take me to bigger and better places and help me do bigger and better things along the road, like long down the road. So I signed to Hutch, got here in January, and it was hard being the new guy, mid-year transfer. Nobody was really like focused on trying to get to know me. They kind of looked at me as the enemy coming in trying to take their spot. So I used that to kind of grow closer to them and help them realize that that was not my goal. My goal was to come in here, do my best, see what I can do, and get out. So over those months, I grew close with a lot of the players throughout spring ball. And then when the summer rolled around is when I really started to get close with everybody. We started going to church together. We started going to Bible studies together. And it ended up getting 5 guys baptized, which is awesome because I feel like God is calling me to these places to use his word to get to other people. And that's something that's important to me, because God is going to save all these guys that have gotten baptized, all these guys that are starting to put their trust in God. So the season has been real good for us, and I give all the glory to God for that. I'm fortunate enough to have 19 Division I offers now, and I ended up committing to the University of North Carolina in Charlotte the other day, and I think it's going to be a blessing to me because that coaching staff really wants God to be a focal point of the program, and they want leaders that know God to be leading that program, and that's something that really changed it for me and wanted me to take that step to go there. So I think at the end of the day, the best thing y'all can do is trust God, trust your coaches that they're going to get the job done for you, trust each other that they're going to get their jobs done for you, and understand that God is going to put you where he wants you to go, even if that's not where you want to go. God has a perfect plan for our life, and he will always have the right thing to do. So I appreciate y'all, boys. Good luck tomorrow. Go ball out. I appreciate y'all.
What's up, y'all? I'm Mari. I'm just here tonight just to talk to you guys about how God pretty much, came into my life on my journey in college football, and just pretty much, how he helped me get through it, and how, how he allowed me to just keep going and, just never giving up. Just want to start off just by saying appreciate my boy Nick. We met at Sac City. Ever since then, we've been really good friends. We've always been competitive with each other, and that's really pretty much how it all started. And yeah, I just want to appreciate him for giving me the opportunity to speak to you guys just about my journey. And yeah, I'll probably say, like, during high school, I always believed in Christ, but I can definitely say like my faith was weak. I really had the mindset where I can do pretty much a lot of things on my own without no help. That was just my mindset. Pretty much, just, I guess you can say, never like really trusted the Lord a lot. But so yeah, I was out of high school. I went D1. I went to Valparaiso. Probably like one of the bad decisions I made growing up, just going there just because I just rushed my decision, not really trusting the Lord, and just trusting the plans that he had for me. So I mean, yeah, I had a pretty bad experience over there. I went into depression, had thoughts about quitting football, like really just ending my whole football career there. And that was just a pretty dark, rough time for me. What I can say is that as I was going through those times, though, I got super close to Jesus himself, really close. He helped me get out those very dark places that I was in. I mean, I prayed to him every night. That's when I really started trusting him and his plans, because, like I said, I was going to quit football. I had no idea what I wanted to do. If I did quit football, I was just completely lost. But pretty much, just after all the praying, he brought me to Sac City. I met so many good people, so many good teammates, good friends, good coaches. And, man, ever since then, I always kept my faith in the Lord with everything I do. There's not one thing I don't do without, talking to the Lord about or just having faith in him. No matter what's going on, it can be like the worst thing going on. My faith does not leave the Lord. Just like I said, he blessed me to be able to go to Sac City. I was able to go back D1 to Cal Poly, as you can see, best school in the country. And I had a great 2 years there. I met more great people, good coaches, good academics. I was able to graduate from there. Also at Cal Poly too, like my junior year, I didn't immediately play just because I had an injury, and that was bumming me out too as well. But like I said, I had complete faith in the Lord. I understood that what was happening to me was for a reason. Because everything in life happens for a reason. It's God's plan. You can't go against God's plan. So whatever He has planned for you, just trust me. Just stick to the plan, stick to the script, and just have that faith. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much, yeah, I missed the first 4 games my junior year out of new school. But, like I said, I kept that faith, came back after a bye week. I was able to start the rest of my time there. Had a lot of fun. I bettered myself as a football player a ton, and also more as a person. And yeah, I had a great time over there, and I was just very blessed. Very thankful for everything I went through in college, throughout my whole 4 years. Just very blessed for every single thing, every opportunity I got. It's made me who I am today. I wouldn't change anything that I went through. Like I said, it happened for a reason. Just very blessed, and pretty much just a message, man. Just no matter what you are going through, just trust me when I say this. Not even trust me, trust in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Trust in the Lord. Stick to His word. You don't gotta, like, before you go to bed, man, you don't even gotta read like 10 pages or something. Just get you like a little couple verses in. Try and understand what those verses are saying, and just try and do that every day. Just try and always talk to the Lord every single day, and just have that faith and that He has a plan.
What's up, y'all? Your boy, Coach Pine, asked me to record this video, say a few words before this last game of the regular season. First, man, congrats on where y'all at in the season. 1 win away from a bowl game, so that's huge. Hopefully you can go on the road and get that done. But yeah, so I'm not the biggest inspirational words guy, but I do want to say enjoy it. This last game or two. Some of the most fun I've had in my life is the time I had playing at City and, being with the guys and all that. So enjoy it while you got it in front of you. And then for the sophomores coming up on the end of your season, man, once you get into that, what am I going to do after this mode? My advice would be to just focus on your process and your work, control what you can control. That's the Coach Walk saying, creeping in there. But yeah, trust those guys, trust your coaches, man. They've been doing it a long time. If you're gonna keep playing, they'll get you to where you're supposed to be. It'll all work itself out. Don't get too caught up in all that stuff. But yeah, that's what I got, man. Good luck tomorrow. Let's go get that win so we get a bowl game. I might show up to a practice or two. I gotta keep up appearances or whatever. See if my boy Marco even still shows up to practice. But yeah, good luck tomorrow. Let's go get a win.